Imagine waking up tomorrow with a phone, a laptop, an internet connection, and absolutely no audience. No subscribers, no followers, no brand deals, no employees. And yet within the next 12 months you build a real business around content, not because you got lucky, not because you went viral, and not because an AI tool magically built the business for you, but because you understood one simple formula: attention, trust, offer, system, business. That is the opportunity in the age of AI. Because AI has made creating content easier than ever. You can generate ideas in seconds. You can write scripts, create images, edit videos, repurpose content, analyze data, build websites, and automate repetitive tasks. But here's the problem. When everyone can create more content, content itself becomes less valuable. The scarce resource isn't content anymore. It's attention, trust, taste, originality, and the ability to turn an audience into customers. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. I'm going to give you a practical 3-part framework for turning content creation into a real business. Part 1, build the attention engine. Part 2, turn attention into trust and demand. And Part 3, build the business machine behind the content. So if you're a creator, YouTuber, freelancer, educator, entrepreneur, or someone starting from zero in the United States, this video is designed to show you how to think about content differently. Because the goal isn't simply to become a creator. The goal is to build a company powered by content. Let's start with Part 1, build the attention engine. Stop thinking like a creator. The first mindset shift is simple. Don't think, I need to make content. Think, I need to solve a specific problem for a specific person. This distinction changes everything. A beginner might say, I want to make videos about business. That's too broad. Another person might say, I want to help American freelancers get their first 5 high-paying clients using content. Now we have a problem, we have a person, and we have an outcome. That's a business opportunity. Because the strongest content businesses usually sit at the intersection of 3 things: what you know, what people want, and what people will pay to improve. And AI doesn't eliminate this principle. It makes it more important, because AI can produce generic information at incredible speed. So if your content is generic information, you're competing against machines. Instead, your advantage needs to come from your experience, your perspective, your stories, your experiments, your results, your taste, your ability to simplify complicated ideas, and your understanding of a specific audience. Choose a valuable content market. Here's a simple question to ask. If someone watches 100 pieces of my content, what transformation should they experience? Maybe you help people make more money, lose time-consuming work, learn a valuable skill, build a business, improve their career, become healthier, save money, become more confident, create something, or make better decisions. The more valuable the transformation, the more business opportunities exist around your content. For example, compare these 2 creators. Creator A says, I make productivity content. Creator B says, I help overwhelmed startup founders build a weekly operating system so they can stop working 70-hour weeks. Creator B has a much clearer business foundation. Why? Because the audience has a problem, and problems create demand. Build your content around 3 pillars. Once you know your audience, build 3 content pillars. Pillar 1, education. Teach people something useful. Show them how to do something. Explain a concept. Break down a mistake. Give them a framework. For example, how to create your first content strategy. Pillar 2, perspective. Tell people what you believe. This is where your personality enters. You might say, most creators don't have a content problem, they have a positioning problem. That's not just information, that's a point of view. And points of view create memorable brands. Pillar 3, proof. Show evidence. Case studies, experiments, before and after results, behind-the-scenes footage, client stories, your own journey. Proof turns trust me into here's what happened. And that difference is enormous. Use AI as a force multiplier, not a replacement. Now let's talk about AI. The wrong question is, how can AI create my content for me? The better question is, how can AI help me create better content faster? That's a completely different philosophy. For example, you could use AI to brainstorm 50 video ideas. But don't blindly publish those 50 ideas. Take the best 5, add your own experience, add your own examples, add your own opinions. Then create the content. AI can help you research. You can use it to organize notes, generate hooks, create outlines, repurpose long videos into short-form ideas, analyze audience feedback, generate alternative titles, clean up transcripts, and automate repetitive work. But your job is to provide the human layer. Your experiences, your judgment, your storytelling, your personality, your taste. That's where differentiation comes from. Think of AI as your production team, not your identity. Build a content flywheel. Now we create the engine. Instead of randomly posting every day, build a repeatable content flywheel. Here's an example. One big idea leads to one long-form video, which leads to multiple short videos, social posts, email, product, customer feedback, and new content. Imagine you make a 20-minute YouTube video called, How I Would Build a Business from Zero with AI. That one video can become 5 short-form videos, 3 LinkedIn posts, several X posts, an email newsletter, a carousel, a podcast discussion, a case study, and eventually a product. That's leverage. You're no longer creating one piece of content. You're creating an intellectual asset that can be distributed across multiple platforms, and that brings us to one of the biggest mistakes creators make. They try to be everywhere. You don't need to dominate 5 platforms. Start with one primary platform where you can build depth. For many creators, that could be YouTube. Then use short-form platforms as distribution. The goal isn't, how many platforms can I post on? The goal is, how efficiently can I turn one great idea into multiple opportunities? Understand the attention equation. Here's a useful mental model. Attention equals relevance times curiosity times packaging times retention. If your topic isn't relevant, people don't click. If there's no curiosity, they don't click. If the packaging is weak, they don't click. And if the content doesn't deliver, they don't stay. That's why the title and thumbnail matter. Consider 2 titles: AI Tools for Business versus I Rebuilt a One-Person Business with AI. The second creates a story, there's a challenge, there's curiosity, there's an implied result. That's what packaging does. But remember, a click is not the goal. A click is the beginning of the relationship. Part 2, turn attention into trust and demand. Now let me say you've built an audience. Maybe you have 1,000 followers, maybe 10,000. Maybe 100,000. Here's where many creators make a massive mistake. They celebrate the audience but don't build an actual business. They get views, they get likes, they get comments, but they don't own the relationship and they don't have an offer. That's the second stage. Turn attention into trust, the trust equation. People don't buy because you have followers. They buy because they believe you understand their problem, you can help them solve it, and the result is worth more than the price. So trust is built through repeated proof. Think about your content as a sequence. Video 1, you have this problem. Video 2, here's why the problem exists. Video 3, here's how to solve it. Video 4, here's how I solved it. Video 5, here's how someone else solved it. Eventually, the viewer starts thinking, this person understands my situation. That's when attention becomes trust. Build an audience you can reach directly. There's another important principle. Don't build your entire business on rented attention. Platforms can change, algorithms can change, features can disappear, reach can fluctuate. Your audience on a social platform is valuable. But an email list, community, customer database, or other direct relationship gives you much more control, so create a simple bridge, content to free value to email or community to offer. For example, your YouTube video teaches people how to create an AI-powered content system. At the end you offer, download my free content business blueprint. The viewer gets the resource and you gain permission to continue the relationship. Now your next piece of content doesn't depend entirely on an algorithm. Create an offer before you think you need one. This is where creators often overcomplicate things. You don't need to start by building a massive software company. Your first offer can be incredibly simple, for example, a service. I'll build your content strategy. Consulting, I'll help you create your content to business funnel. Digital product, a complete content business template. Course, learn how to build your content engine. Membership, join a community of creators building businesses. Use a tool that automates part of this workflow. The important thing is this: your offer should solve a problem your audience already has. Don't create a product because you think it's cool. Create it because your audience keeps asking for the solution. Start with a service. If you're starting from zero, one of the smartest models can be content to service to product to scale. Why? Because services teach you about customers. Imagine you create content about AI automation. Instead of immediately building a $50,000 software product, you offer, I'll audit your business and identify 5 tasks you can automate. You get customers, you learn their problems, you discover patterns, then you turn those patterns into a repeatable service. Eventually you might turn the process into a course, a template, a software tool, or a subscription. This is one of the most powerful ideas in the entire framework. Don't guess what people want. Sell a solution, learn from customers, then build around what repeatedly works. Build a content to offer funnel. Let me make this practical. Imagine your audience is independent consultants. Your content says, 3 reasons consultants struggle to get clients from LinkedIn. At the end you say, if you want my exact client acquisition framework, grab the free guide below. Guide provides value. Inside the guide you introduce a deeper solution. Maybe that's a consulting package, maybe it's a course, maybe it's a community. Now the funnel looks like video to free resource to email to education to offer to customer. That's a business. And notice something important: the content doesn't need to aggressively sell. Its job is to create awareness and trust. The offer exists for people who want the next step. Stop chasing viral views. Here's a controversial idea: a viral video can be less valuable than a small video watched by the right people. Imagine video A gets 1 million views, but the audience isn't interested in your product. Video B gets 20,000 views, but those viewers are business owners who desperately need your solution. Which video is more valuable for a business? Probably video B. That's why you need to track more than views. Look at subscribers per video, email signups, qualified leads, sales, customer acquisition cost, conversion rate, revenue per viewer, and most importantly, what type of content attracts people who eventually buy. Because you're not building a media company just to collect views. You're building an asset that creates economic value. Part 3, build the business machine. Now we've reached the most important stage. You have attention, you have trust, you have an offer. Now you need a system, because if everything depends on you personally, you don't own a business. You own a job. Turn your creative process into a system. Start documenting everything. How do you research? How do you find ideas? How do you write scripts? How do you edit? How do you create thumbnails? How do you publish? How do you repurpose? How do you answer customers? Write it down. Then ask, what can AI handle? And what should a human handle? AI can help with repetitive processes. Humans should focus on strategy, relationships, creative direction, final judgment, brand voice, important decisions, and customer understanding. This creates leverage. Build a one-person company first. One of the biggest opportunities created by AI is the ability for a small team, or even one person, to accomplish work that previously required many specialists. But don't make the mistake of thinking, AI means I need to build everything. Instead, AI should reduce complexity. You might have AI-assisted research, AI-assisted scripting, AI-assisted editing, automated email sequences, automated scheduling, automated analytics reports, and automated customer onboarding. But the business still needs a clear operating system. Think idea to production to distribution to conversion to delivery to feedback. Every piece should have a process, the 4 levels of the content business. Here's the full progression. Level 1, creator. You create content, you build an audience. Your primary asset is attention. Level 2, creator plus service. You monetize your expertise, you get customers. Now you have cash flow and customer insights. Level 3, creator plus product. You turn repeated solutions into products. You increase margins. You create something that can sell without requiring every hour of your time. Level 4, media plus business. Now your content engine feeds multiple products, services, partnerships, communities, or software. The content becomes the distribution engine, and the business becomes bigger than the creator. That's the destination. The formula, so let's put everything together. Here's the formula I want you to remember. Niche, attention, trust, audience ownership, offer, system, scale. Let's break it down. Niche. Choose a valuable problem for a specific audience. Attention. Create content that earns clicks and watch time. Trust. Teach, demonstrate, experiment, and share. Proof. Audience ownership. Move your strongest audience into a relationship you can reach directly. Offer. Sell a solution to a problem they already care about. System, turn creation, sales, delivery, and support into repeatable processes. Scale, use technology, AI, people, and capital to increase output without increasing complexity at the same rate. That's the formula. And notice what isn't on the list. Go viral. Because virality is a tactic. It's not a business model. Your 90-day execution plan. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, but what do I actually do? Here's a simple 90-day plan. Days 1 to 30, find your position, choose one audience, choose one painful problem, choose 3 content pillars, publish consistently, study which topics generate the strongest response. Don't worry about building the perfect product yet. Your job is to understand the market. Days 31 to 60, build trust and demand, double down on your strongest topics, create deeper content, start collecting emails or building another direct audience relationship, talk to potential customers. Ask them, what are you struggling with? What have you already tried? What would solving this problem be worth to you? Don't assume. Listen, their answers can become your future products. Days 61 to 90, launch the first offer, create a simple offer. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to solve a real problem. Get your first customers, deliver the result, collect feedback, improve the offer, document the process, then turn the repeated parts into systems. That gives you the beginning of an actual company, what AI changes and what it doesn't. Now let's address the bigger picture. AI will continue making production cheaper. It will make average content easier to create. It will make generic information abundant. That means the bar for mediocre content will continue to fall. But the value of several things will increase. Trust, original thinking, human experience, taste, community, relationships, brand, distribution, and most importantly, results. Anyone can ask AI, give me 10 business ideas. But AI cannot give you the credibility you earn after helping 100 customers. Anyone can generate a script, but that doesn't mean they can tell a story that people remember. Anyone can create an image, but that doesn't mean they understand what their audience emotionally responds to. Anyone can produce information, but people still need someone they trust to help them make decisions. That's your opportunity. Don't compete with AI, build with it. This is the mindset I want you to leave with. Don't ask, how do I compete with AI? Ask, how can I become more powerful because AI exists? If AI makes research faster, research more deeply. If AI makes production faster, spend the saved time improving the idea. If AI makes editing faster, create better stories. If AI makes customer support easier, serve more customers. If AI makes coding faster, test more business ideas. If AI makes marketing cheaper, experiment more. The winners won't necessarily be the people who use the most AI tools. They'll be the people who know where human judgment matters most and where machines can create leverage, the big picture. And here's the biggest idea I want you to remember. You don't need millions of followers to build a business. You need a group of people who have a problem. You need the ability to earn their attention. You need to become useful enough to earn their trust. And then you need to build a solution that genuinely improves their situation. That's it. The internet gives you distribution. AI gives you leverage. Content gives you attention. Trust gives you influence. Your offer creates revenue. And systems turn that revenue into a business. So if you're starting today, don't obsess over becoming famous. Don't spend 6 months choosing the perfect camera. Don't wait until you have a massive audience. Don't build a complicated product nobody asked for. Start with a problem. Find the people who have it. Create content that helps them. Listen to what they say. Build something they will pay for. Use AI to multiply your effort. Then turn what works into a system, and repeat. Because the real opportunity of the AI era isn't that machines can create content. The real opportunity is that one person with knowledge, creativity, distribution, and the right systems can build something that once required an entire company. So maybe the question isn't, can I build a business from content? The better question is, what problem am I willing to become known for solving? Because once you know that answer, you can build the audience, you can build the content, you can build the offer.